Hi, my name's Keith Cooper, Northlight Images, and in this video I'm going to talk about tilt-shift lenses. Now, the reason I'm mentioning tilt-shift lenses is because I've mentioned them in a lot of videos and articles and even a book I've written about them, is because I still get people asking me what they do. And I've noticed that people get the various things that tilt-shift lenses can do to differing amounts and in different ways. So quite often I get asked questions and I go, well, yes, it does this, and have a look at this article, have a look at this video, whatever, and you'll see some details of it. But I really would like to know, if anyone who's interested in tilt-shift lenses, if there are any specific aspects of using them that you're curious about, that you feel I've not covered, or not covered in a way that you've really understood what's going on. Because there's always going to be people who just have different ways of learning. I've discovered this because I do teaching, I do bespoke one-to-one training, and will include tilt-shift lenses in it if it's something that somebody wants to learn about. I enjoy the one-to-one teaching because it helps me understand what it is people see about these things and what it is that I see that they may not, or vice versa. I always learn things when I do teaching for people. So first thing is, I get people saying, well, this is all good and well, but you can do all this in software these days. Well, no, you can't. I'm going to put a big list of assorted resources and links to videos, articles, things, and the book that I've written about what you can do with tilt-shift lenses. I'm going to put that in the notes of this video. So if you've got anything you particularly want, have a look at all those videos and all the articles, because they have details. They have things like detailed lens reviews as well, both the written ones and ones that I've done where I've done video supplements to them. So, yep, tilt-shift lenses. Some people, well, that's the other thing. People say, yes, the tilt-shift effect. They are not tilt-shift lenses. They are lenses that have shift, which can be used for things like some of these pictures in the background. This print here was done. This is an image taken with a shift lens, as was this. This is stitched. But they have tilt as well, and you don't have to use them together. So this is a tilt-only lens that I did for used in a couple of recent videos showing the effects of lens tilt. There's no shift on this. Several of the lower lenses that I've tested have shift only, so they are different things. And yeah, I've tried and get this over if possible, but you know, some people just go, well, it's not a thing I need, it doesn't. Well, that's fair enough. I can accept that perfectly well. They're also not cheap. Now, the actual lenses, ones that I've looked at and used regularly, now I've tested these on all sorts of cameras and things. There's a Canon 24mm. I've tested the Nikon one as well. There's Canon 17mm. That's a really nice one. Work on on 35mm full frame cameras. A little bit more difficult to use on something like my GFX 100S. This one works well on the GFX 100S, as does this one, TSE 90. Now, this is the original version. I've looked at the new version. I've got lots of details. If you want something a bit cheaper, have a look for lenses like this second hand. These lenses have been around since, these are about 2007, 2008. They've been around. This particular one has been around since 1992. It's still perfectly usable. So have a look at the used and second hand bits for lenses. There are some other ones. There's ones like Samyang 24mm you can use, which is relatively cheap. You might be able to pick that up. Not up to one of these in quality, but certainly good enough to get the gist of what they do. If you want something a bit more varied, this is a photodiox tilt shift adapter, RF mount, and it goes to M645, so medium format lens. So I can use a whole series of these lenses, medium format lenses, on this. And I've looked at it and I've got lots of examples of what to do. So yes, it can be expensive, but if it's not something you need, then it's not something you need. As to doing it all in software, no, you can't do tilt. You can do simulation of something, out of focus areas, but you cannot tilt the focal plane, as I have done in this picture here, running the plane through the picture. That was taken with this TT Artisan lens, 50mm lens. You can't do that. Now, other things people think, oh, well, they think of shift lenses and it is just the shift part of this for panoramic photography, in that you keep the camera still and you shift the lens left and right. Well, that's okay. It is a good way of expanding the view that you get. I've used it using shift to get square pictures when shooting with, say, the Canon 5DS here. Shifted up, down, stitch them together, get a squarer picture with a larger coverage. In fact, the image on the front of the book here was taken with the TSE. It's part of a slightly larger image, but it was taken with the TSE 17, shifted up and down and then stitched together. That's, you know, I've got loads of stuff of that in here, and articles. All the articles are free. But I say, if you want to buy the book, available from all good bookstores, and it's available in electronic versions as well, although I wrote it as a proper book to be, you know, to read and keep as a reference for stuff. Just my personal liking for paper books over electronic versions of them. I have difficulty reading screens. Why don't use phones very much. I need strong glasses for anything closer than about this distance, so it's a bit inconvenient for the viewers. So anyway, lots of different approaches I've got. There are lots of different things you can do. This one here, this is taken with a shift lens. You think, well, that's very wide. This is the Humber Bridge. Actually, what I did for this one, this is a panoramic. This was taken with, if I remember rightly, the 24mm lens in portrait orientation, with the lens shifted upwards to drop the horizon in the image but keep the camera level. So I've got the camera in portrait orientation and I have just panned it manually, taking pictures like this, but with it shifted upwards. I've then stitched them together and it's given me a cylindrical coverage of this that I could not have got so easily at the resolution I got it, because you're able, by using the shift, to use the full resolution of the sensor there. Another one of the problems with doing it in software, there are losses, there are limitations. They may not matter to you. I don't care whether, if they don't matter to you, just don't get a shift lens. What I'm saying is that if you get a chance to use one, I think a lot of photographers will find it makes a positive impact on their photography and how they see the world around them. Simple things that people don't think about. Diagonal shift, such as the large print up here. The camera's actually looking along the walkway there, and the lens is shifted diagonally. Now I've got mentions of this in articles, I've got videos, I've got lots of other stuff. It's all there. So please, if you're curious about these lenses and there's an aspect which you think I've not really covered, and I know some people think, you know, tilt, it's quite difficult to use. I've got quite a few bits on that. But if there's something you're specifically interested in, let me know. Either email me at Northlight Images if you feel like, or via comments on the video. And do check the notes on this video, because I'll put all the links I've currently got to stuff related to this. So hopefully, I would like to explain tilt shift lenses, how to use them, to anyone who's interested. Hope that's of some interest. Please, as I say, let me know. Please subscribe to the channel if you like. I've got lots of stuff I cover with this. So thanks for watching.